Do test. Right, perfect. Hi back everyone. So, like I told you before, I will also raise a video for the spider wing. And let's go for it. It will be a quick one um, to explain you how we will do and how it will work on this one. So on spider wing, which is the most easy one, we just have three boss. The first one will be an Umbrican, who has around three abilities. The first one will be like an impale, so player close to him, it's probably 40 yards, maybe 30, I'm not sure about it, but well, player close to him will be target, and he will raise an impale in a line, probably like a line about, yeah, 5 yards, in a line of 5 yards probably, to 30 yards. One big impale which jumps people into the air, and do also damage on the cast of the spell, to just avoid as many trouble as we can with this kind of spell. Melee will try to be behind the boss when we will DPS him, never in the position of the tank, and caster, as soon as both add are dead, you will have to spread out a bit in half circle behind the boss, to avoid as many knockback in the air as we can. Um, for the rest, so the two first add have to be clean before we are moving to the boss. The second ability from Anibrican is related with this ad and the corpse, the dead corpse of this ad, because as soon as Anibrican has a corpse, a dead corpse close to him, and like I say, close to him, it's like in all the room. So as soon as anything is dead inside the room, a lubricant will spawn on the corpse some spiders, like around maybe 5 to 10 spiders, who will have to be quickly killed and AoE by mages, and if possible, AoE taunt, sorry, by off tank. To prevent any deep shit with the skill, be sure to be on top as an off tank on the corpse, and mages, don't try to finish your firebolt. As soon as the spider comes, you just move on it, just get ready to use a leap if you have to, and you destroy the spider. Because if any one of us die, he will try to land a new another time the same spell, and if the spell kill another member of the race, it will be the same thing and the same thing, and we will just get crowded by all the small spider who will spawn. So to avoid any deaths and to control the corpse as soon as we have one is really important on this boss. The last ability is a swarm, who will come after a certain amount of time on the fight. You will see it on this fight because we were just a bit too slow, but like on Plague Wing, because we won't have any one buff, we will absolutely have a P2 on a lubricant, and we will have to manage it. So what will the boss do on P2 is he will start to don't move and don't eat anything for like 5 seconds, and land a swarm of bugs who will eat silence each people close to 20 yards around him. To avoid any trouble with this ability, the main goal to the tank is to start to run on this side, like here. Don't hit the green sheet, because if you hit the green sheet, you lose like 50% of all your statistic. So you will have to kite the boss, kiting to this way to come to the entrance. All the red will stick on the left side of the room and the left side to avoid anything. We will have also on P2 to manage one more spawn of ad, and for the healers to be ready to help your warrior, who will have to tank and maybe get hit a bit. At start, you place yourself close to this spot. You just see if the warrior get hit by anything. Maybe Druid will be the best class to do it, because you can out and run during the same time. So maybe Pomish or Killer Lobs will do it. And as soon as the boss will start to move, the boss has to do the same thing here, half of the circle. So the tank don't have to run too quick, but just be sure he will be far away from the ability of the swarm and the damage of the swarm. And the druid, you will just follow him. As soon as the tank get close to him, the boss should be around this spawn. The swarm will just raise down, and we will move back to P1. I show you quickly the fight. It's not a big fight, not a hard fight to manage, but if we don't respect the small spider, and if the tank is not able to do the kiting in the proper way, it could be problematic. Also, well, respect the guard, because the small one just eat a bit and stack some nature potion on the tank, and also apply some reds, because you won't be gnomish, you won't be able to remove it. So you see, I'm coming to this position as a melee to allow, at least if we got an impale on the melee, to don't trigger it on the caster and on the healer behind. So all the melee have to move close to it. Maybe spread a bit if we can, just like that. But if we got an impale, we want to avoid an impale on this line. This position is pretty nice. And because if melee get impale, warrior can intercept, rogues have some reduced damage on the fall. Alright, you saw the impale right here. Yeah, so I think it's around 5 yards for the spacing of this shit. And to the top left of my screen, you saw Nuée de Sauterelle. This is a swarm. As soon as you get close to the swarm, melee will have to move out. Probably at 5 seconds, I think I will land a call. Maybe we greed too much. Right, that was a bit greedy, but now we move quick. So you move out from the swarm, you stay on the same side of the fight, and the boss casts the spell. The tank starts to kite. We have two ways to do it. One way is to use the enter, but honestly I don't like this one. The best way to do this shit is to use a speed potion on the warrior, and that's all. One speed potion, it should be done. I'm pretty sure we will be able to kill it in just one rotation. If we have any problem on the second one, we will use the enter on the group of the main tank to apply the aura to boost the speed. But because you don't want that the boss just cut like that, don't move too fast if you are boosted by any ability, any speed ability, because we don't want to cut the kiting. The boss have to go this way, and I have to kite on this way. And for sure, because we have a high amount of DPS, he will just be dead really quick. So nothing much to see on this fight with this video. So I just go for the second one with Firelina. Firelina is pretty easy one also. So what we have on Firelina, we have the boss, we have 6 ads. On this 6 ad, we will kill 2 of them quickly, the skull and the square. And for the rest, we have to keep alive the non-marked, the triangle, the moon and the diamond. All right, so the guard with like the dark dress or whatever they just wear. What will happen on Fairlina? First, you have a Rain of Fire, the Warlock cast, so just like the same shit like Gain right? You just move if you are on the Rain of Fire. It will be always on one player of the red, so try to be spread a bit if you are a caster, and melee get ready to move quick. The second one will be Poison Bot Volley, like Kree, for example, in AQ40. So dispel it with Shaman Totem. Don't forget to use the GNPP. I won't ask you to use Electricity of Poison Resistance on this boss because it's not a hard one. We have enough Shaman and enough Druid to dispel the poison, but just use at least some medium Nature Protection Potion. And the last thing, and it's related to the four ads we will just off tank and keep alive. It will be for the Shadow Priest or just a Priest, because every 45 seconds or maybe 1 minute, I'm not sure about the timing, Faelina will enrage, and the only way to trunk shot the enrage is to mind control one of these four ads and use an ability which just dispel the enrage for the boss. So just let's see the fight quickly. Should be here. Yep, it should be here. Of course, because we have a Rain of Fire on this fight, no one should be close to the Priest who will mind control. Because when the Priest have to mind control the had, he can't move. So he has to be alone on his spot. Most of the time, he will be placed right here or on close to this spawn. The pull should occur in some seconds. Come on. Alright, let's pull. So you see the Rain of Fire here. Alright. You have to avoid it really quick because it's still a big amount of damage. And you saw here the poisoned bolt volley. And for the rest, nothing much to understand. Just heal. Get ready healers, especially when Faelina will just get enraged, because before the Priest have to use the cooldown, maybe the boss will hit 2 or 3 times the main tank, and she's hitting pretty hard. Yeah, you see, Rain of Fire on the Priest, pretty fucked up. You have to move out, cancel, and to find a new ads to sacrifice. So it's not the perfect setup for that. Not sure we will see an enrage. Yeah, in 2 seconds. Right here, alright. He sacrificed himself, she's dead, and you have 26 seconds before the next one, after the first one. So this is also an easy one. And the last one, this one will be probably more tricky. What will do Anubrican? Anubrican will do 1, 2, 3, 4 things. Alright, the first thing you have to understand, melee and all players in the red, this boss just cleave as fuck on melee. So you have always to be on the back of the boss, and if we have to do a panic kill with, I don't know, tank dead, almost half of the red dead, to kill it, you have to split, because she's not too quick. Well, she moves quick, but not too. And you have to spread as quick as you can to avoid any shit if it's a panic kill. Alright, don't forget it, she has a huge cleave on front. So of course you have also to wait DPS and healers before moving close to the boss, that the tank just turn him back to you. What's the next skill? The first one is a cocoon. The boss will target around 3 to 4 player, and she will just bump you into a cocoon on the wall. If you are not released of the cocoon after the first probably 6 seconds, I think. I'm not sure about the timing, but it's around 6 or 10 seconds, you will die. Because the cocoon will be in the air, the only way to destroy the cocoon is to use Warlock, Hunters, and Mages. So on this boss, Mages, Warlock, Hunter, you have to pay attention to all this close to the wall. All right, you saw the spider shit on the wall. It's here. She will land the cocoon here, and you have to free your mate as soon as you can to avoid any death. Of course, I think healers can heal the cocoon. Not sure about it, but I think they can. The other ability of the boss is also she will spawn some small spiderling in just close to his maybe a body. I don't know exactly where, but well, probably at the center of the body. As soon as the small spider just spawn, we have to burn them and to have a quick aggro on this before the tank get hit by one. Because if the tank get hit by one, the mob will apply some poison of the tank to reduce the heal. So it's not a good thing. The boss will also so like I explained to you, for example, this one, this placement, fucking bad. I don't know, maybe he was just lucky and the boss just don't trigger the melee cleave, but you have to wait until the boss just be turned back and then you move for DPS. And also he will apply a poison of the tank, the boss, I mean, who reduces the heal. So, well, Druid, you have to dispel it as soon as you can. Shaman also. And the next ability, the last one, who will be maybe the most important one. Every 30 seconds, you have the cooldown on my top left corner. It's called Jet de Reds. The boss will land a reds on all the red every 30 seconds, and during the reds, you won't be able to do anything for 6 seconds, but the boss keep playing the game, so he will still eating the main tank. Right? It's about 8 seconds. So you have to be ready to first be sure the tank is at 100% HP before the reds. The tank gets bubble from the priest, full out from the druids, full out from the priest. Have one big cooldown up, like Black Wingler Gem or well, the usual tank stuff to avoid any shit. Maybe a Juju, etc., etc. And just pray to don't lose the tank for this 8 seconds. If we have a full avoidance tank with all the mats and with the cooldown, full HP with the bubble and the hot, it won't be a problem. But be sure to have it, and also don't forget to dispel the poison as soon as we move out from the reds, because the tank will have it. So like you say, like you see, sorry, the tank here lose around 9k HP just on this phase, and it's not the worst one, because we will have another one, and it will come at 30%. You will see we will just cut the DPS at 33, because at 30% the boss enrage, and here the only way to soak the DPS of the boss during an enrage and reds is to shield wall. If you don't have a shield wall, you are dead. So we will just cut the DPS. If by any bad luck we lose a tank, it could happen. because the boss can't be taunt, the only way to have a swap aggro is to be sure to be behind the second and the free main off tank. So you have to watch out your DPS, because it's not really a race. We will have to cut the DPS at 30%. Be sure to be behind 2 other tanks, because losing a tank on Naxxramas, especially without World Boss, it's a usual thing. You have to get ready to off tanks, and you have to get ready to not be in top aggro if you are not a tank. So watch it. You have a lot of tools to do, like AoE is a small shit, free your friend inside the cocoons, etc. etc. Sorry. Of course, I'm just almost speaking for warrior DPS, because the rogues could just vanish, so it would be easy for them. And that's all for now for me. So you have the spider shit also explained. I hope it will be fine for us tomorrow. Well, I tell you good night and see you tomorrow.